Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 20th September 2024. Actually there are many articles which are important and every day I am dealing minimum 9 to 12 articles which are relevant from our UPSC point of view, and these articles are more than enough. And if you are following any news channel, please do follow that news channel consistency, because they will be covering each and every article. They know like what they covered and what they didn't, so that if you are shifting from one analysis to another analysis, there will be missing of topics for sure. So this is the thing I want to say. Okay, so now let us see the first article. So see the title, guys. Genome sequencing will be done to find Mpox virus strain, says Kerala Health Minister. So there are two important keywords here. So first keyword is genome sequencing and second keyword is Mpox. So why recently Mpox is in news? You know that WHO, World Health Organization, which declared this Mpox as public emergency of international concern. Why Mpox had been declared as that category by WHO? Because of rapid spread of this Mpox in especially African region, in this Congo basin. And next one here is, it also led into lots of number of deaths, especially in children, and they want vaccine. Okay, so how many vaccines they need? They need 10 million doses, but as of now how many doses here? There are just 0.21 doses. And here I already gave you a mains question regarding this Mpox virus, and even what is the role of India to address this problem of public health emergency of international concern. So if you have wrote that answer, then you might be knowing about some important points already. Okay, so let me show you like how you have to read this article. So first keyword is genome sequencing. And second keyword is Mpox. Mpox is nothing but monkeypox. So in your GS paper 3 in science and technology, whenever you are reading this topic of biotechnology especially, you will be coming across this word called as genome sequencing. And if your option is anthropology, so as you all know, anthropology is one of the success optional that will be chosen by many UPSC aspirants. So in this we have paper 1 and paper 2. So in this paper 1 we have 4 streams of anthropology. First one is biological anthropology, next one is archaeological anthropology, and third one is socio-cultural anthropology, and third one is linguistic anthropology. So here in paper 2 you have only 2 streams. First one will be your Indian anthropology, and next one is tribes in India or tribal anthropology. So in this biological anthropology you have just 6 core subjects that you have to see. So in that, one subject is genetic, where you will be again reading about this genome or genome sequencing there. So here if you are choosing this optional, then this article is also very relevant for you to cover current affairs from anthropological connotation. Okay, and here you have to know about this Mpox. Again, it is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology, and next one is from GS paper 2 under health, and even from your GS paper 2 under international relations, like how the countries will be helping to deal with this kind of pandemics or epidemics. From that point of view you have to see this. And next you have to see what is the impact of society and social issues point of view. So from all these subjects, like from 5 to 6 subjects point of view, we can connect a single topic. Okay, now let me give you dimensions what you have to see. So from genome sequencing point of view, you have to know first of all what is genome. And next one is what is this genome sequencing. And our core topic is genome sequencing. So you have to know what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and what are the applications of this genome sequencing. And in anthropology connotation, you will be seeing like how this evolution of humans that led to genetic variations in the humans, And why we need to read this human evolution, because we can understand how this diseases progression will be happening from one generation to another generation, this human evolution. And even you will be understanding like what genetic changes led to the new type of diseases. Okay, and you have to know about what is the relevance of this genome, and especially how this genome sequencing will be helpful to understand the present new type of diseases, endemic, pandemic, etc. Okay, so those are the things that you have to see from genome sequencing. And from Mpox point of view, if you are seeing any disease in news, that will be very important for your prelims. You have to see what is this disease, and you have to see where it had been originated, and whether it is virus or bacteria, and you have to see why it had been declared as global health emergency of international concern. Okay, how we can treat this disease. Rx is nothing but treatment. And this one is there any vaccines to control that? So if yes, what are those vaccines? Okay, so in this way you will be getting questions from this topic. Okay, now let us dig deep what this article is saying. So context says that Kerala Health Minister announced that we can go for genome sequencing. So whenever we are going for this genome sequencing, we can identify the strain of this Mpox virus. So one important reason why this Mpox had been declared as global health emergency, because recently we identified new strain of Mpox virus in this Africa. Okay, because of this it had been declared, or it got that status. So we have to understand the genome sequencing so that we can see like which strain is spreading. And actually recently one Mpox case had been find out in Kerala. So because of this, Kerala wants to go with this genome sequencing. And if you see the key points that you have to get from this article, the first one is what is the importance of genome sequencing. So when we understand the genetic nature of this Mpox virus, we can be prepared for the proper public health responses, and we can also have proper containment strategies so that we can decrease the spread or transmission of this disease. And next one here is we can understand which genetic or which genes is responsible for increasing of severity of this Mpox. So if you're having this genome sequence, then we can understand whether it will be causing much danger to our country or not. And next one here is we can also understand how can we prevent this Mpox transmission at a faster pace, so that we can manage emerging of infectious diseases in our country. And next one is even we can give reassurance to the people, because whenever they are identifying that this kind of disease that is entering into their area, and if there are some misinformation which is spreading like this is going to become an endemic or pandemic, so people also will feel very anxious about their health conditions. So to control this anxiety of people and to increase safety and as well as precautionary measures, so this genome sequencing is very useful. And even this will be helpful for community engagement as well, so that we can give some awareness about what is this disease and how it is going to impact, whether the impact is more or less. We can give the information so that people can also take some safety measures as well. And if you see what is this genome sequencing, so we are extracting complete DNA sequence of an organism. Okay, so you know that cell is a basic structure and function unit of any organism. So in the cell we will be having many organs. They are called as cell organelles. So we have nucleus, we have ribosome, we have lysosomes, we have Golgi complex, we have mitochondria, it is called as powerhouse. Okay, like that. So the important thing that you have to focus is nucleus. So in this nucleus we will be having genetic material which is called as DNA. So in DNA, we will be having chromosomes. So what is this genome is nothing but the complete DNA sequence of an organism is called as genome. So we are going for sequencing of this genome. So we are going to get the order of bases. So we'll be having nuclear bases. They are called as adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil. So here normally these are the bases which are present. So they are different from DNA and as well as RNA. So you have to see how these adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine, they had been ordered in our DNA. That is called as genome sequencing. Okay, so see this next article. India abstains from voting on United Nations General Assembly resolution against Israel occupation. So what is the keyword? Okay, what is this UNGA? United Nations General Assembly. So what is happening in this UNGA? Okay, voting regarding what? Okay, so voting is regarding Israel's occupation of Palestine. So that is, so this voting is against. Israel needs to leave the places which had been occupied. Okay, so in this voting, India had been abstained. What is the meaning of abstained? Okay, it is neither voted yes or no. So it had been very silent. Even it didn't vote anything. That is called as meaning of abstain. So what it means for India? So if India is abstaining from this voting in UNGA, what it means for you? Okay, India is not opposing Israel's occupation. Okay, apart from that. Okay, it wants to mediate both Palestine and Israel. Next. Oh, Taliban are not part of Israel and Palestine. Next. So actually I want to show you one supporting article also. Okay, I think I included somewhere. I'll be showing it last. So there is one supporting article which says that India don't want to export weapons to Israel. So there is one more article which is supporting India's abstention in United Nations General Assembly. So what you can get from this article, guys? So what you have to think? Okay, we need to promote peace. Okay, next. So actually the keyword is UNGA. What is the role of United Nations General Assembly? What is this UNGA? What is this UNGA? Okay, so tell me from which subject we can connect this topic? From GS paper to international relations, India and Israel bilateral relations. And next topic we can connect here is international organizations. So we have United Nations. Under this United Nations, we have 6 principal organs. So one such an organ is called as United Nations General Assembly. So let us see this article. So India abstained from UNGA resolution calling for Israel to vacate Palestinian territories. And actually this resolution, it is saying that we need to build bridges between Israel and Palestine rather than deepening of divides between them. So actually we want to come up with a resolution of this issue between Israel and Palestine, and they passed this resolution, but India didn't vote it in that or didn't participate in voting in this United Nations General Assembly. So actually out of 181 members, 124 members they voted, okay, voted regarding yes, Israel needs to leave this occupied areas of Palestine. So here, if you see, the key points that you have to get from this article is strategic abstention. So India's choice to abstain rather than vote against a resolution which reflects its complex geopolitical strategy. And actually, so we need to balance our historical support for Palestine with its growing defense ties with Israel. So actually from first onwards, yes, we used to support Palestine. But now recently what happened in our foreign policy, we are also increasing our defense ties with Israel. So if we are voting against Israel's occupation of Palestine means obviously our relation with Israel will be getting affected, right? So do you know any missile that we got from this Israel? What is that missile? In your science and technology class, I think sir might have gave information regarding the missile that we got from Israel. Yes or no? We got it or not? Okay, after this class, and YouTube students, so please text which missile that we got from Israel. Okay, so here why we went for abstention, because we want to maintain proper relations with both Palestine and as well as Israel. So because of this, yes, we went for abstention. So this is the thing, even we followed in Russia-Ukraine crisis also in the initial stages. But here now we are moving towards peace and we are mediating peace between Russia and Ukraine now. That means whether our foreign policy is static, no, it will be dynamic based on our needs and aspirations of the people. And next one is we can call for a dialogue. So we are focusing on calling on a dialogue between these two countries, especially international countries or the countries which are present in the world. They are talking about that because they want to establish peace in region rather than having some punitive measures. And they want to decrease the tensions between these two areas so that we can establish the peace. And next one here is, do you know about this two-state solution advocacy? So what is this two-state solution? Yes, actually here Israel and Palestine issue is happening because of this state policy, because here Palestine also wants to get the status of state. So here if you want to resolve this issue between Israel and Palestine, we can give the state to this Palestine. So we can go for this two-state advocacy can be negotiated so that we can settle this issue between Israel and Palestine. And next one here is, even there is also some concerns regarding sanctions. So whenever we are going for resolution passing in this United Nations General Assembly, so here whenever India is abstaining, it indicates that we are not taking proper support measures because it will be having impact on our bilateral relations between India and Israel. And even there will be issue regarding regional stability as well. So here, even if you see here, whenever any country which is going against the US, we have CAATSA, Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. So here US can impose sanctions on any country which is acting against USA. So here we are also having concerns regarding sanctions. If US is voting against this, but India had not been voted, means so there is a concern of even sanctions for India regarding USA. So it is also one problem, so that our bilateral relations with this US is also going to be affected. And already you know that regarding Russia-Ukraine issue also, there is some difference which is going on between India and USA. And even in yesterday's article, we discussed that, yes, Quad is going to happen soon. So before this Quad itself, India and US should be clear about India's role in mediation between Russia and Ukraine. Okay, and even if you see, so why this resolution is important, because many people, they are dying, right? So here we need proper humanitarian assistance in this Gaza. So especially we have to focus on even civilian welfare. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to remember. And what is this UNGA? So it is United Nations General Assembly. So it had been established in 1945 under Charter of United Nations. So headquarters is located in New York City, and it is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations. So actually United Nations General Assembly is very important organ of United Nations because it will be focusing on main policy making. It is one of the policy making organ of the organization itself, and it is mainly involved in multilateral discussions, and even it will be discussing about international issues, etc. So how many members are there? 193 members of United Nations, and each and every country, they will be having equal vote. One country is equal to one vote. And see this article. So India should increase court system capacity, says FATF. So recently this FATF is in news. Why? Recently we discussed this article about India's what? India's money laundering. What exactly, Hema? Why we discuss this topic of FATF? Why it is in news? So you should be not like that. So you should, whenever I'm asking questions, answer should come within fraction of seconds. Come on, why this FATF is in news? So what is the status of India? In which list they had been placed? In FATF we have 4 lists. Apart from grey list and black list, so other 2 lists where India's position is. So I think 3 to 4 days ago we discussed one article where India's position is in the first list of FATF, which says that India is taking good steps for controlling of money laundering and terror financing in our country. And they said that we are going to release the report within 1 week. Because of this, we discussed that article, right? So now here FATF is saying that we have to increase our court system capacity. So what is the relation with court system, that is judiciary and FATF now? So I hope you got my question. Okay. So FATF deals with what first of all? FATF, what is this FATF? Financial Action Task Force. So FATF deals with what? Money laundering, first one. Next one is terror financing. These two things. Okay. So India is placed in first list. That means India is taking very good steps so that we are controlling these two things effectively in our country. And now here FATF is saying that in India, we have to increase court system. Court system is nothing but judiciary, right? Okay, judiciary. Now, my question is, why FATF is asking to increase judicial system in our country? Are you getting my question? Okay, so what are the loopholes it might find in our country? Okay, tell me about what are the challenges or problems in our judiciary. What are the problems? I want to make everything simple here. So what are the question I'm asking? Try to grasp the question. Okay, tell me what are the problems in our judiciary? Yes, delay in justice. Next. Corruption. Next. Come on, you can do it, guys. Okay, pendency of cases. Very good. Next. Nepotism. That is called as nepotism and favoritism. Nepotism and favoritism in appointment process, especially in collegiate system that we discussed. Next. Huh? Next. Vacancy. Yeah, vacancies are very high. Next. Okay. So how these problems are related to this money laundering and terror financing of FATF? Are you getting my question? Now tell me, how are these problems are related? Okay, I don't want to take any political stand here. So tell me how these problems are linked to these functions of FATF. So whenever there is delay in cases, what happens? So we'll be not taking effectively steps for controlling of money laundering and terror financing. And even because of this high pendency of cases, so the efficiency and effectivity of our steps can be reduced. So now FATF is saying that whatever the problems you are having in judiciary, try to decrease them. So what is the solution we can come up with? Fast track courts. And even in yesterday's class, we discussed that many states are not having this fast track courts for proper delivery of justice. So because of this, justice is getting delayed. So whenever justice is delayed, it is also called as justice denied. Okay. So this is the thing which said in this article clearly. It is regarding only money laundering and terror financing because FATF deals with that only. Okay, I hope you understand what I mean to say here. So context says that India is urged by FATF to enhance its court system capacity to address backlog of money laundering trails. And if you are addressing this issue of backlog or pending of this money laundering case, obviously we can increase effectiveness and as well as we can increase the function of enforcement directorate. Okay. So despite of high conviction rate, there is delay in prosecution, which is because of legal challenges and as well as shortage of specialized prosecutors. So because of this, it is hindering the progress. So what are the problems you said are there here? Yes, here, yes, there is 97% of conviction rate is seen, but the problem in our judicial system is there is delaying of prosecution and as well as why? Because of some legal challenges, for example, shortage of judges or like increasing of vacancies or increasing of pendency of cases. So FATF is now recommending that we need a comprehensive financial analysis and so that we can improve taking measures against terror financing, particularly related to non-profit organizations and even high-risk sectors. Okay. So how this money laundering and terror financing is happening, the main route in India is non-profit organizations. So we have to control them and whatever the cases which are related to this money laundering and as well as terror financing which are pending at the judiciary level, regarding this NGOs or non-profit organizations. So they have to be taken care of. So this is the recommendation which is given by FATF in its report. Clear? So now let us see the key points. The first one is court system overhaul needed. So here FATF, which is emphasizing that in India we have to expand our judicial capacity, particularly we have to improve specialized courts so that we can manage growing number of pending trials effectively. That means you can take example of fast track courts. And next one is, if you see the conviction rate versus prosecution numbers, so conviction rate is 97%. So whatever the cases they had been filed regarding money laundering and terror financing, 97% you are getting punishments. So this is very high. Okay, so here conviction rate versus number, it is very high in India. That means even though 97% of conviction rate is there, so 3% where we are missing because of problems in our judiciary system. So here we have a problem of delayed cases. So we have to bring some changes so that we can address this problem as well, so that we can increase this conviction rate to 100%. And next one here is, what are the legal challenges we are having? There is no proper judicial clarity. So there is, it will take some years to give the judgment, and increasing of pendency of cases, and even there is vacancies. There is even nepotism and favoritism in our collegium system, which appoints and which transfers the judges of Supreme Court and High Court. So we have some legal challenges. So because of these legal challenges, even whatever the acts we are having, so can you tell me any acts regarding money laundering in our country? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So is that efficient? No. So because of legal challenges, the efficiency of this acts and laws is also undermined. So we have to take care of that. And next one here is, what are the problems with enforcement directorate? So regarding this money laundering and terror financing, we have this ED. So every day there will be no article in your newspaper without this ED. So what is the ED? What is the problem with this ED is, they are not having proper resources. Resources shortage is also one of the problem with ED. So it has to be taken care of. And next one here is, we need to enhance even financial investigations in our countries so that we can effectively combat this money laundering, which is linked to human trafficking and as well as smuggling. Okay, clear? And we have to need a proper risk-based approach, and we have to prevent abuse of non-profit organization so that we can ensure anti-terror financing measures are properly implemented in our country. So are getting how you have to use this keywords in your answers now? So these words you will be not saying in the articles. Okay, so if you are using this kind of keywords, obviously you can improve value to your answer. And while you are using these keywords, try to underline them so that you can highlight them, so the examiner can see that words easily. And see about this FATF. FATF, it is a global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog. So when it had been established in year 1989, so you have to remember these years also. Sometimes UPSC can play game with years in your prelims. And it had been developed or established after this G7 meeting, which had held in Paris in 1989. So what is the important objective? The first important objective was only to deal with this cases of money laundering. But after attack in US, that is 9/11 attack in US, so even it added one more objective is to control this terror financing as well. So see this article, and for sure the students please note down this. So if you are writing this 2025 prelims, you will be getting question for sure regarding Harappan civilization, because this year marks 100th anniversary of finding out of Harappa civilization. Okay, so in this way you can expect some questions from history for sure. Okay, see this title, Harappan civilization enigma remains even after years of exploration. So what is the meaning of this word enigma? Do you have any idea? What is the meaning of enigma, or do you know any synonym of this enigma? Enigma is nothing but mystery. Okay, even after 100 years of its exploration, this mystery has been there. So no one, even today, no one deciphered the language of Harappan civilization. Do you know about something interesting regarding Harappan language, written language? Yes, pictorial representation. So it is including letters and as well as diagrams. So anyone, is there any person who deciphered this language? Actually, one person, he claims that he deciphered, but it is not at all. We know that. His name is Airavatan Mahadevan, but there is no evidence that he deciphered that. And one more thing here is, so this script is Bostophodon. So it will be starts from left and it will be go to right like this. It will be like a snake movement. And it includes both letters and as well as pictures. So because of this, we will be saying it as pictographic. So do you know any important sites of IVC? Important sites. I think you might have studied in your school days. Dholavira, next. Sarkotada, next. Not Citadel, next. Next. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, next. Every year you will be getting questions regarding IVC for sure, and it is one of the favorite area of UPSC. Not only for UPSC, if you are preparing for any other competitive examination, you can expect question regarding IVC. So why IVC is even relevant today? Yes, this is the first stage of urbanization. Next. So what is the difference between urbanization of IVC and the present urbanization? Okay, they have proper drainage system and they gave lots and lots of importance to sanitation. Next. Yes, great bath. Okay, community bath system. Next. Next. So do you know something about water harvesting system? So how they maintain water harvesting at that time? So each and every house they used to have well, and even they used to have bathrooms, and even they took a lot of they gave a lot of importance for privacy even. So actually nowadays, if you see, roads will be like this, and if there is a house, so there will be no door which is open towards the road. So roads will be doors will be like east to west direction, which is opposite to the door, so that they used to give lot of importance for privacy. Okay, next. Do you know anything important? Yes, pottery. Next. So from art and culture, you will be reading Nitin Singhania book. But whatever you are reading, you will be using only 10 to 15% of content from the books. But you have to think out of box to write answer for your art and culture. And every year you will be getting minimum 2 questions, like 20 to 35 marker questions from your art and culture from GS paper 1. It is very important. And you have to think out of box, that you have to learn from here, from current affairs only. So if you think like I'll be reading books and I will be writing answers, it will be like waste of the thing. And from today onwards, your mains is going to be started for exam for this 2024. So in the evening session, I will be taking analysis of this year essay paper for sure. Okay, so online and offline students, so please do attend the class. Okay, so today you will be having only essay paper, and tomorrow you will be having GS 1 and 2. There will be 2 papers. I will be trying to analyze at least 1 paper in the evening part. Okay, don't miss that, because you can understand. Yes, they used luxury items also, so that we can understand there was social stratification. Okay, so in that history classes and art and culture, you will be knowing about in detail regarding those. So if you are having any doubt, I will be dealing with that in answer writing classes. Okay, so say this Harappan civilization discovered 100 years ago, and it remains even in mystery despite of extensive exploration. So actually this IVC belongs to Bronze Age society. So in our micro listing of topics, I said about Stone Age, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Iron Age, and Bronze Age like that, Copper Age like Chalcolithic Age. So actually it belongs to Bronze Age, and this period is very well known for urbanization. So we consider this Harappan civilization as the first stage of urbanization in our country, and especially they are very famous for the town planning, and as well as water management, and as well as craftsmanship. So in this crafts, you can see like terracotta evidences, and you can see seals, you can see bronze dancing girl, okay, and priest. So with that images, you can understand how well they are making the crafts. Yes. Okay, so actually, whenever you're reading this Harappan civilization, you have to know, like you have to make notes like this in this way. So you have to see the site name. For example, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Chanudaro, and you have to see who discovered that. For example, we have Sahani, we have so and so names, Bist, like that. So you have to know the name and you have to see in which year they have been identified. And every site will be present across the banks of one river. It may be Indus, it may be Ravi, like that. So you have to see on which river bank we have that site, and you have to see special features. Like in some sites they find ink pots, in some sites they found the great bath, or in some sites they found bead making industry. Actually, in group 1 of APPSC, the question was in which of the IVC sites we have this bead making industry. And even in your UPSC, the question was in which site there was efficient water management system. So like that, you have to know the special characteristics of that site. Okay, so that you will be getting questions from separate site as well. Okay, if you see the key details here, the cultural enzima. So we have cultural mystery related to this IVC. So Harappan civilization mysteries including like its script, as I said. So how the societal structure used to be. We have kings and we have normally working population. So if you say structure, we will be having upper citadel and we have lower city. So in the citadel, actually the rich people or kings, priests, they used to live. And in this lower city, only the people who are working, they used to live. That means we can understand the societal stratification was there. So even till now, we are having this societal structure mystery, and even actually we don't know about exactly clearly what happened in this, because if one who deciphered this language or the script of this IVC, we used to know something. But till now, no one knows about this. Because of this, we don't know exactly what happened in this IVC, and still now it is a big mystery. And next one here is they used good technology. And here I can give you one question. So after watching or after reading this IVC, what is the technological advancement that you can understand? So like that you can get mains question for 10 marker. So here we can understand about town planning and effective drainage system, and you can see about advanced engineering which they use for better water harvesting system, and even what are the structures they built. Even after some thousands of years also, even the remains of this great bath that we can see in that region. That means we can understand which kind of technology they used. And if you move from one side to another side, the brick size will be same. So they used same size of bricks, that to baked bricks. And in some areas, there was advanced bead making industries. Okay, so you can understand which kind of technology had been used. And next one here is we can get some archaeological collaborations. Like even recently one discovery they found about the pots. So as you all know that in IVC the pots were used. And for what these pots might be used? For storing of grains. Apart from that, okay, burying. Okay, next. Yeah, next. Actually, so we got one evidences of in that pot, they find some remnants of milk and milk products. So that we can understand that yes, they did even agriculture along with animal rearing. Okay, so in this way you can understand about our Stone Age and complex societies in our country. Okay, and next one here is you can understand the geographical diversity. So it is distributed with a very, very extensive region, and because of this we can understand their ability as well. And this one is we can understand about cultural exchange. So at that time of IVC, they didn't only limited their trade to only IVC. Whatever the civilization they were present at that time, so even they had links with other civilizations as well. So how we know? Because of seals that we used. Okay, so here we can understand like which kind of trade we did and what is the exchange of medium between these trade. And next one is we can understand the legacy of craftsmanships at that time. Like because if you're having good crafts, then only we will be getting markets. And even the present situation also, if you're good at something, then only we can export our goods to other countries, or else we'll be not having good trade. So here this IVC is very much famous for cotton. Because of this, another name of IVC is Meluha. Okay, So because of very excellent quality of cotton that used to produce in our IVC. Okay, and even diamonds, even lapis lazuli, some important ornaments, they can be also traded with other countries that you will be knowing clearly. So if you see the history of India, which begins with the birth of IVC, which is known as Harappan civilization, so when it flourished, and whenever you are writing history related answer, so please please you have to ensure that you have to include the timeline for sure, and you have to draw map for sure. Okay, draw the map of IVC and and show some important sites that you know, like Harappa, where is located, Mohenjo-daro, some in Pakistan, some in India. At least 3 to 4 is more than enough. And next one here is this Indus Valley was home to the largest 4 ancient urban civilization at that time. So at that time there were 4 civilizations apart from IVC. First one is Egypt, second one is Mesopotamia, and third one is China. And in 1920s, archaeological department at that time, actually during 1920s, Britishers, they want to construct railways. So that time some archaeologists, whenever they were digging for the construction of railways, they came to know about this civilization. Okay, so those things that you have to remember. And see these articles. Burying of Dalit houses proof of Jungle Raj, says Congress. So I'm not dealing with any political party here, but I want to focus on burying of Dalit houses. Whether is it ethically correct or not. So even in your Indian society, you will be having a chapter of vulnerable sections, the problem faced by vulnerable sections like SC, STs and BCs. So in that topic, can you add this? So whatever the article titles that you are seeing in newspaper, you can use as examples. So you have to learn a lot still. Whatever the articles you are reading, so don't forget them. And you have to think like, where can I include this? So whenever you're writing about answers regarding discrimination based by Dalits, so first one, you can write about what? Which topic you can write about discrimination? Huh? How? I'm not asking about art and culture. So in the relevant, in this 21st century, which type of discrimination they are facing by these Dalits? Manual scavenging. Next, crimes against Dalits women who are much more vulnerable. Next, you can write about burying of Dalits, and even Dalits are not allowed to enter into temples in some areas. Still it is going on. Okay, you can add these 4 examples with relevant data, then your work is done, right? Okay. So say this article, committee continues to work on MSP proposal, says Union Agriculture Minister. So what is the keyword you have to focus about? MSP. What is this MSP? Minimum support price. So yesterday we discussed one program. What is this program is about? PM Asha. So how this PM Asha and MSP are related in that scheme? Price deficiency. So in that PM Asha, we have 3 sub schemes, right? So in that one sub scheme, we'll be dealing with MSP. So if the farmers are getting less amount on this MSP rather than compared to the market price, so whatever the compensation is there, that compensation will be given by the government to the farmers through their bank accounts. So just focus on what is MSP, what is the criteria for deciding of MSP, and which committee recommends and which committee decides. Okay, you have to see those things. So already on that question, we have UPSC gave already the prelims question in 2020 itself. Okay, see this article. White Revolution 2.0 to empower women, fight malnutrition, says Amit Shah. What is the keyword? White Revolution. What is White Revolution? Yes, wealth production. So actually earlier, whenever we bought this White Revolution, that is called as 1.0. So whether this White Revolution is success or not? Yes or no? Yes. So why we need again 2.0? Already one is success. No, we have to enjoy that success. Why we have to again work hard for 2.0? Why women? Okay. So they are saying like empower women. So how we can empower women by this White Revolution? What is the role of women? Okay, good food to women how, Hema? So do you know about this hunting and gathering societies? So whenever from this Stone Age onwards, we have men and women. So what is the role of men and women in this hunting and gathering societies? Men will be go for hunting and women will go for wow. Okay. So I want to ask one question. So why men are good at GPS or why women are good at colors? What is the reason? Is there any scientific reason behind it? Yes, for hunting they have to go for far places and they have to return back with the whatever the hunted animal they did. But why women are good at colors? Yeah, tell me. So those things that you will be learning in anthropology, even though, tell me why. Actually, it will be very interesting to know about humans. So if you see about this hunting and gathering society, we have men and we have women. So men, they had traditionally play a role in just hunting and they will be bringing the material. But women is always involving in this gathering. Gathering means gathering of fruits, gathering of honey, gathering of some important things. So women knows like which fruit is ripe and which fruit is raw. Normally green color is raw, yellow color or red color or orange color fruits are ripe. So because of this, women are good at colors and men are good at GPS. So this is a thing that followed from ancient period onwards. Okay, so here now tell me why women are going to empowered with this white revolution. So are you getting my question? Now tell me, it is also having link with gathering here from ancient times. Come on, tell me. So if you learn anthropology, you can write easily society, everything. Because 40% of your GS is covered there. Tell me now, what is the role of women? Fast, fast. Servant sir will come. Okay, actually, do you know about these corporations like Amul? So whether it is a success or not, it is a very big success in Gujarat. Okay, so now let us see this article. So Union Home and Corporation Minister, he launched about this White Revolution 2.0 and he said that this is going to empower women and combat malnutrition. So actually who will be involved in this dairy? Obviously women. Women will be taking more care of dairy compared to of men. So it will be helping women because they will be getting some income, and even as you know that increasing of population, there will be increasing of demand for the goods, and especially milk is one of the important source of calcium. Yes or no? So especially women need more amount of calcium than compared to that of men to sustain, because in women after around 40 to 45 years they enter into stage called as menopause. So in that menopause stages, whatever the hormones that are maintaining in their body, they have been coming to the zero level. So because of this, at that stage what happened, whatever the calcium which is present in their bones, that will be reabsorbed into blood. That means the concentration of calcium in the bones will be decreased. So that time even if they're falling down, they will be getting fractures. Okay, so this is one of the important problems that women will be faced after their menopause. So because of this they need extreme calcium. So from minimum 35 to 40 years, if you're going to any gynecologist for checkups, they will be suggesting you to take daily one calcium tablet. Okay, so because of this milk is one of the rich source of minerals and as well as especially this calcium and nutrients. Yes, it is very helpful for women to combat this problem of malnutrition. Okay, so here this initiative which is formalizing women's role in milk procurement, and even we can increase our daily procurement of 660 lakh liters to 1000 lakh liters. So this is the one target under this milk revolution or white revolution 2.0. And government wants to increase the establishment of these cooperative societies across all panchayats so that we can empower women in this dairy and as well as fishery sectors. So actually here what are the key points we have to see? The first one is it will be helpful for economic inclusion. We can increase the role of women in dairy cooperatives so that we can bridge the employment gap between women and men, so that it is one example of women empowerment. And even women, they will be getting financial independence as I said, and they will be getting recognition and they contribute to the economy. And this one is it will be also helpful for increasing of milk procurement so that we can address this problem of malnutrition, because milk is one of the vital source of nutrition and we can promote public health and as well as well-being. And next one is, already you know that this communities or cooperative societies are one of the great success, so that we can incorporate as many women as possible in this. And next one is, it will be also helpful for sustainable development by establishing dairy and as well as fishing cooperatives. So it is not just about economic growth of our country, but even it will be a sustainable practices, so that we can promote eco-friendly agricultural methods as well. Okay, and we can also focus on decentralization of power. Decentralization is nothing but whenever we are giving increased role to panchayats and municipalities, that is called as decentralization. We are focusing on cooperative societies formation at every panchayat. Okay, and it is also one of the long-term vision, so that we can empower rural women, and especially we can improve our economic resilience, and we can develop marginalized sections of society. Okay, how can we implement this white revolution 2.0 is, first one is, yeah, yesterday 2 days ago we discussed one article regarding how to control stray cattle. Yes or no? How? There I said about 2 important points, IVF, and next one is sex sort semen, right? So here in this white revolution we are going to use that technology here. Okay, so first one is, we can use some new breeding techniques like sex sorted semen. So in this sex sorted semen, actually you know that who is responsible for girl or male child? So all from women we will be having egg will be having X chromosome, and from men we will be having sperm. So sperm we will be having X or Y chromosome. So if X and X is meeting, it will leads to female, and if X and Y are meeting, it leads to male. That means it is dependent on male sperm, right? So here whenever we are collecting the sperm of high yielded variety of cattle, so we can divide or we can separate this X chromosomes and Y chromosomes, and we can take this X chromosome related sperms, and if you are using that, obviously we can get female cows, so that we can increase milk production. Clear? So here we are going to use the sex sorted semen and even embryo transfer and as well as IVC techniques, so that we can increase high yielding cow numbers. Okay, and 90 plus probability of only female calves being born if you are using this sex sorted semen, rather than 50-50 percentage of male and female. Okay, and next one is, we can go for embryo transfer technology. If we know that embryo belongs to the female, we can go for transferring it to cow. Okay, so in that way also we can increase that. And next one here is, we can also increase this bovine breeding centers. So there in that bovine breeding centers, we can go for extraction of the semen of high quality breeds. And we can also focus on animal nutrition. So whenever they are getting rich nutritious fodder, then only the milk quality will be very high, and even fat content will be very high. So we have to focus on even animal nutrition as well. Okay, so and we have to focus on balanced diet. So why we need this white revolution 2.0? Because of increasing of inflation. Yes or no? So whenever we are increasing milk production, obviously the cost can be decreased. So normally the cost is 80 to 85 rupees per liter. So we are spending 90 rupees, I think so, for fresh milk. So because of inflation, what happens if you are increasing production of milk? Obviously we can decrease the price, so that we can increase nutrition of people. And next one is to reduce the demand. Yes or no? And next one is, even because of increased production cost also, obviously the cost of milk is increasing. So if you are focusing on this diet and as well as if you're focusing on this technology, obviously we can decrease the price or production cost. And even because of increasing of price, so people, they are not coming forward to drink milk every day. So here we have to decrease the production cost of this milk for farmers. Obviously that cost can be decreased to the consumers also. And see this article, how Kerala reduced mortality from amoebic meningoencephalitis. What is this amoebic meningoencephalitis? I think it had been long back. Okay, what is this about? Come on, come on. Yes, brain eating amoeba. Can you tell me the scientific name? Whether it is virus or bacteria? Whether it is bacteria or virus? Brain eating amoeba. Amoeba, is it a bacteria? The name itself is saying no, just I want to confuse you. It is amoeba, it is not a bacteria or it is not a virus. Okay, so what happens? So how this disease is getting for the children? Okay, whenever they are doing some swimming in the water, they are getting this disease. So this amoeba which is entering through nose and it is entering into brain and will start eating brain. And there is very high mortality rate. So actually one case which had been recorded in Kerala that, so one in urban area also, he has no contact with any lake or pond, but even though he got that because he did swimming in overhead tank. That tank had been not cleaned for lots of days, and because of that, that bacteria had been developed in that, and even urban dweller also. So he found that. So finally, what are the measures they taken here is they started fluorinating. Okay, do you know this fluorination of water, right? So they will be clearing or filtering of water by using chlorine. So because of this chlorination of water areas, water bodies, so they control this. So whenever you are writing any waterborne disease, can you use this as a case study? So recently Kerala controlled this brain-eating amoeba by fluorinating of water bodies. So we can also implement that to control this kind of waterborne disease. Clear? Are you understanding how you can use these articles? And say this article about simultaneous elections. So in simultaneous elections, yesterday I gave you a question regarding what are the challenges. So one challenge is it is affecting the relationship between center and state. So today there is article regarding that. Yes, are you advanced compared to that of newspaper? Yes or no? Yeah, see this article. Okay. So should children be barred from social media? So actually in 2016, I guess, there was essay regarding the social media. So whenever you are using social media, there are both advantages and disadvantages. So you have to see advantages and disadvantages. Hi, Venkat, after many days. Okay. So say this, should children be barred from social media? Here you have to see what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of using social media. And you have to take your stand, like whether you will be allowing your future children to use this or not. It's your wish. Okay. So do you find any more articles regarding today's newspaper? Any more important articles? That's it, right? Have you gone through the paper at least? No. Okay, very good. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Science Academy.